So politics is one of the biggest issue in the countries that happen or in the countries all around this world. So all countries have their own government. So as all countries have their own government, so Malaysia also have their own government. But Malaysia's issues is something new, something which make people think that something new is happening there, which is after 60 years of the Malaysia get independence, last year on 9th May 2018, Malaysia got the chance, the Malaysia government got the chance that the new party to conquer this country. So that so the today topics is political factor, which is going to relate to the the political factor which happened after this new government. So what is the political factors does mean? Political factor is the activity that is related to the government policies which has the environment, education, crime, justice, culture and also society and more. So we have several political factors, which is government policy, political stability and instability, bureaucracy, corruption, competition regulation, foreign trade policy, tax policy, trade restriction, labor, environmental, copyright, consumer protection, and funding grants and initiatives. So here we have done lots of interviews from the people, from the public about the political factor. So here we go.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Can I know your name?
My name is Shakila Abdullah.
Okay, so you're currently in semester?
I'm second semester now.
So you're taking what course?
Taxation.
So I want to ask a question about what do you think about political factor in Malaysia in terms of economics?
In terms of economics, by right now in my mind, I think government should be concerned more on the tax, especially on the SST. I think they have to exempt it about the SST tax because nowadays economy is low but then the product of Malaysia is getting higher, so the tax on that is getting higher too. So I don't think consumer like me can't afford to buy things like that.
So you think SST is not good?
It's not good because our economy is already dropping day by day. So but then the price is not dropping. Our income is dropping too. It's not still dropping, but it's only at the same level. So I think this economy until it's okay, I don't think so. SST is good.
So do you think government is okay with political factor or they are
I think they need to make some effort to stabilize it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, mate.
Hello, okay.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's your name?
Khalid, you can just call me Khalid.
Ali. Ali, what course are you? What
I'm
department?
in entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship. Wow, nice meeting you. Please, I really want to ask a few questions.
Yes,
Please.
you may.
How do you see Malaysian economic presently? Malaysian government economics within last year and this year. How can you explain about it?
Okay, from my personal opinion,
Yeah.
national economy, we can see the differences between these 2 years for the last year and this year. Since last year we got the old government, and for this year we got the new government, right?
Yeah.
So we can see from my personal opinion, I can see the change of the economy in terms of the currencies in Malaysian ringgit.
Okay.
The
currency.
The currency of Malaysian ringgit. Really see before the new government, the old government, our currencies, if we compare to the US, we are a little bit further.
Okay.
A little bit further, and it can be said that we are at the low level
Now.
and for now, at the initial level of the new government,
Yeah.
we still at the old level, we still at the low level, but for now, I can say that the currency is getting improved day by day, and I can see that the currency is getting higher. In our opinion,
Yeah.
national economy, we can see the differences between these 2 years for the last year and this year. Since last year we got the old government, and for this year we got the new government, right?
Yeah.
So we can see from my personal opinion, I can see the change of the economy in terms of the currencies in Malaysian ringgit.
Okay.
Really
The currency.
The currency of Malaysian ringgit. Really see before the new government, the old government, our currencies, if we compare to the US, we are a little bit further.
Okay.
A little bit further, and it can be said that we are at the low level
Now.
and for now, at the initial level of the new government,
Yeah.
we still at the old level, we still at the low level, but for now, I can say that the currency is getting improved day by day, and I can see that the currency is getting higher and getting better from last year onwards, and I believe that in the future, in the upcoming years, our currency will become better like the old times.
Well, like now the currency of like you're trying to explain that the economy now is better than the economy
Yeah.
previously.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Afternoon, Miss. Can you introduce yourself first?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Miss Mani. I'm with Unirazak Digital Design Development Department.
So today's topic is about political factor and economic growth of the new government of previous government. So what is the economic condition on the previous government and the current government?
Okay. This one is just from my personal opinion, and what I've experienced is that, especially compared to last and the previous one and the new one thing I think which is quite obvious, you can see there's the increase in prices of things. So even there is something, one of the comments, so as a best example, the recent issue is with TNB. So you can see a lot of people are complaining why is there an increase in surcharge of our electrical. So I think compared with the previous government, I think somehow they have more control of all the necessary items compared to the new one.
Okay. So what is the difference and what do you think? Which is better or which is good between? Do you want it back, the previous one or the new one?
For me is that the thing is the new government, this is still just their first year. So the previous government have managed the country for a long time. So more or less they have formed a sense of control, or they maybe know what to do. So the new one, I think they are still adjusting themselves. So like for me, I would rather give it more time to see what they're gonna do maybe in 2 or 3 years, or maybe like by the next election. Then it would be my preference to see, okay, whether the before one is better or the current one. Because I think 1 year to judge might be too little. So I think they need longer for us to do more assessment to it.
Okay, and what is the employment rate? Is it increasing or decreasing?
I
Is it
think there's
compared
an
with the previous one?
increasing in unemployment rate, but I think that is not just Malaysia's issue. I think that is a worldwide issue where a lot of countries now need to, like what Malaysia is promoting, youth or graduates need to think how to find employment or how to find work opportunities. So I think what we are offering in terms of that, we are offering business opportunities, maybe let's say grants or funds for youth to start their own businesses. So I think it's not just a Malaysian issue, it's a worldwide issue.
Alright,
Yeah.
thank you.
One more
That's all.
Assalamualaikum and very good evening. My name is Unirazak. I'm from Unirazak. So for today, I would like to interview you a little bit about political factor. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Can we start now?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Okay, what is a political stability?
Okay, political stability generally refers to where a nation politics fits on a spectrum between those two extremes. A nation that is constantly having civil wars would be said to have a very low political stability, since there would be very low levels of respect for the existing political order, while a nation with high political stability would be one where politics was extremely predictable.
Okay, my next question is, what is a stable country?
Okay. A term used to describe the financial system of a nation that displays only minor fluctuations in output growth and exhibits a consistently low inflation rate. So, economic stability is usually seen as a desirable state for a developed country that is often encouraged by the policies and actions of its central banks.
Okay, for my third question is, what leads to a political instability?
Okay. The first one is if the rights and freedoms of the people are not respected or are trampled upon. Next is corruption and mismanagement of the wealth of a country by the leaders. And lastly, political instability occurs when elections are not free and fair.
Okay, my next question is, how do you define corruption?
Okay, corruption is generally speaking as the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. So political corruption is the manipulation of policies, institutions and rules of procedure in the allocations of resources and financing by political decision makers who abuse their positions to sustain their power, status and wealth.
Okay, my next question is, what is transparency?
Okay, transparency is about shedding light on rules, plan, processes and actions. Transparency ensures that public officials, civil servants or managers act visibly and understandably and report on their activities. And it means that the general public can hold them to account.
Okay, my next question is, what is the cause of corruption?
Okay, the cause of corruptions, as we can see on the political front, corruption is a major obstacle to democracy and the rule of law. In a democratic system, office and institutions lost their legitimacy when they are misused for private advantage.
Okay, my last question is, what do you do to fight corruption?
Okay, in my opinion, what we can do to fight corruption is build partnerships. Next, we have to proceed step by step. And lastly, we have to stay non-confrontational.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for participating in my interview.
Yeah, you are most welcome.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, that's all from us. I hope that our video about political effects on Malaysian economics was not only enjoyable but also gave food for your thought. So based on our video, I hope that you understand how politics affect our Malaysian economics and how economics play an important role in Malaysian politics. So with that, we end our video.